Welcome, witches. Welcome back to another episode of the Still Rooms Grimoire. I'm your host, April Eckwyland. And I'm just going to take a big, just breather here. It has been a little bit much the past couple of weeks. So we've just think I need to just take like a little bit of a break. And because I wanted to take this little bit of a break, um, I kind of wanted to talk about something maybe just like a little bit fun, like a little bit out of the ordinary, when it comes to the craft and things we have and things we use. And I wanted to talk about kind of like what's in your witchy bag. Like, what do you carry around with you maybe on a daily basis, whether um if it's in your purse, your tote bag, your work bag, in your car, in your pockets, whatever. But I wanted to kind of talk about that and and just kind of, I don't know, maybe show you like some stuff that's in my witchy bag. Um so yeah, so let's talk about that. So you guys, if you remember like from past episodes, and I've mentioned it several times when I've talked about when we've traveled, when we've gone away and stuff, that I usually will bring a box with me. It's this wooden box. It's just, like a little rectangular-ish, not really square. It's not really a rectangle. Is it a square tangle? I don't know. I'm making this up. It's been a long week. Um, but it's this box. It's this wooden box that I picked up at a Goodwill one day when I was just out thrifting, and it's just the perfect little size. It's nice and deep, so I can fit some good stuff in it. And you've heard me mention that when I travel, I bring some things with me, especially if I am going to be doing a working while I'm gone. So, or, if there's like maybe like a special like Sabbath or special ritual or something that I want to do, I'll make sure that I have that with me. So I just fill it with different things. I've put herbs in it. I throw my tarot deck in there. I might throw some jars in there because you never know when you need to, maybe collect some things, go foraging for some things, maybe collect a little graveyard dirt. I don't know. Um, but I would just put some little things in there. One, they're all contained, they're there if I need them. And two, I don't have to go out and buy them while I am there. I do try to plan when I'm going out, especially when I'm traveling. I do try to plan ahead. And if I want to do something, if I'm going to some place specific that I want to be able to do something at, then I'll make sure that I put that in there. So I just throw a bunch of stuff in there. Do I use it all? Sometimes not. Sometimes I do. Um, there is also, I have space in there for what I find, what I bring back. Sometimes when I'm walking around wherever we're visiting, I may find something and and pick it up. This way it gives me a place to put it because there's been many times that I have been out and about, even just around here, not even on vacation or whatnot, but even just out and about here when we're doing stuff during the day, and I pick something up, and then it goes into that little side little spot on your car door. You know, the one I'm talking about, the one that everybody just kind of puts random shit in. And then you find send random shit like later, and you're like, where the hell did this come from? So, I try to put it in this box, so at least I know where it is for one. And then when I get home and I am unpacking that box and putting everything back, then I see what it is that I picked up, and then I can go, oh yeah, this was from dot dot dot, and I can either place it on my altar or place it in my supply cabinet if I'm using it for something. I can mark it if I need to mark it, or do whatever with it, or just add it to the shelf of my collection of little things that I just find. I swear I'm part like crow because I just like, ooh, shiny thing, and I need to pick it up and like take it home and give it a home and everything. But anyways, so that is that, that box that I carry around with my when I travel. So obviously I am not carrying that thing around on a daily basis. No. Mm-mm. It stays pretty much in my room, in my space. I have a closet and everything where if you open up the doors, it has my altar space and everything and all my little shelves and supplies and everything. And then up above where you would normally like have that shelf like to put like shoes or whatever on because it was a closet. Um, I have like boxes of stuff, and that box, when I'm not using it, when I don't need it, goes up there. And so on a day-to-day basis, I carry around, it's funny, I tend to carry around like a bunch of different bags, especially if I'm going to the shop. The girls at the shop, they laugh at me because I come in with all these bags. I have my purse, I have my tote bag that I have just all my crap in, my computer, my planner, notebooks, whatever. And then I usually have like a tote that has my food and my snacks in it and my Starbucks cups and just whatever. I just have a lot of bags. Um, but obviously I'm not carrying every single one of those around on a daily basis. So on a daily basis, when I'm going out and about, I'm not at the shop, I just have my purse. That's what I have. And in there, it, it kind it kind of varies on sometimes a daily basis. Sometimes it varies on my mood or whatnot. But I always have some crystals in there. I always have some crystals thrown in there. For a while, it was this little silk bag that had 3 crystals in it from when I had a reading done in Salem a couple of years ago. She had actually picked those stones out for me, and they went along beautifully with my reading. So I carried those along with me. But sometimes I just have like, sometimes honestly, I can tell you, sometimes it is like a random crystal that I may have brought home from the shop and I just stuck it in there and then maybe forgot about. um, or it could be just, hey, I like this one. I'm going to stick it in my bag and carry it along with me for a while. So there's that. I always have a like a little mini notebook and a pen in there. Lately it has been these little notebooks. They're so cute. They're actually handmade by a local lady here, and we sell them in the shops. They are, like the composition notebooks that you get for school and stuff, the black like and white marbled like writing notebooks. Well, they have like the mini ones. I don't know if you've like seen them. Like you can usually get them in like a pack of like 3 or 4. But anyways, she made these covers um out of like cloth, like different like pattern, like fabric and stuff, and like this faux leather type material. And it has like that little those like little like elastic kind of, I would say like a hair tie, like like those elastic hair ties you have that are like flat. They almost look like ribbon. Like that's on the front to keep it closed. And what's cool is that inside of them is that they have these little mini composition notebooks, and it allows you to, it allows you to fill it up and then you can replenish it. So I love them, and they're so cool because she's made them and she can make them with different fabrics on the front. The one I have is based off of, I think it's like little like tarot prints, but mine happens to be a black cat. Obviously, and there's like ones with skulls with spiders. There's even some like little like haunted mansion ones that she's done that we've had at the shop. And me, I love anything to do with haunted mansion. So we have those, but they're just a cool little way, especially if you want something as like a portable little grimoire. um you can just, I mean, it can fit in your pocket. They're not huge, they're not bulky, but it's a great way to jot some things down, especially if you do want to keep like a written record of it. And go from there. Because I've been, obviously, yeah, I have my phone, and whatnot. And I've made notes in my phone, but then sometimes I go back to it and I'm like, what the hell did I write this in here for? What was this needed for? And same, I could do the same if I am, you know, writing it down in a notebook, but I tend to get a little bit more into it and like date and everything and kind of write what this was in regards to when I write it down for some odd reason rather than typing it on my phone. I don't know. I'm weird, whatever. So I do like to keep like a notebook and a pen, like I said, in my purse, in my bag, just because it's just there in case I need it. And it has definitely, helped me um in a couple of different situations where I've needed it for something. Some other things that I have in there, um, more of like it's like more of like in like a little like makeup bag, like just not even a makeup bag. I call it a makeup bag because that's the only word that's coming to my head, but just like a little just like a little bag that goes in there that I just throw random shit in, nail file, maybe a lipstick, a lip balm, my EpiPen should I ever need it, heaven forbid I need it. But things like that, like, toss in like a little bottle of, Tylenol, or, every most girls, most women have something in their bag that is like your kind of like little travel bag of goodies, kind of like a Mary Poppins bag. She had everything in that bag that you could ever need. That's kind of like what this is. It's like, oh, yes, I have that. Here's a Band-Aid, here's a stick of gum, here's that. Um, so I have one of those, and in there, I actually carry around a mini spray bottle of Florida water. And you guys have heard me mention before that, like, in the morning when I'm getting ready, that I actually will spray Florida water all over me before I get dressed. And one, I spray it because I like the smell of it. And two, it is me spraying on just protection for the day. It is very, very protective and cleansing. So it just gives me that little bit of coverage and everything. So I do carry around, like, I got like a small little bottle, I think, like, I don't know, like in one of those like little travel kits or whatnot. It's like a small bottle, um, literally can fit in your pocket. Um, and it has Florida water in it. So one, if during the day I need to say, I just want to freshen up, either just because I like the smell, or I need to freshen up my energy, I need to cleanse or something, I will spray that on me. I have actually had to use it when I've been out and about, more when I was traveling. Um, when we went to, what was it, a year or so ago, when we went to that abandoned cemetery in Pennsylvania. And when we left, I was dousing myself with Florida water. But I carry that in there just because it gives me a little bit of a boost. Gives me, not only like that scent boost, but it also gives me that energetic boost too, especially if I'm feeling like my energy is a little bit low, or maybe like the energy people that I've been around is low. And sometimes I've even sprayed it on myself before going into a situation, um, just because I want that little extra bit of protection. So we have it at the shop too, where we keep it in a spray bottle up by the register. And sometimes the energy is weird. A lot of different people come in the shop, and sometimes you just need to cleanse the space, even though the space gets cleansed every day before we open. Energy comes in, and sometimes it can be a little heavy. So just to lighten it a little bit, we go around and spray the Florida water. But I do keep that little bottle um, in uh, in my purse just for those little moments. And then, like, other things that I've been known to carry in my bag, it's kind of dependent on maybe like what I'm working on or what I'm needing it for, and where I'm going. I actually do have a miniature athame that I can travel with. But obviously, just because it does look like a weapon, I have to be careful where I bring it. So there's sometimes that I keep it inside my bag, and then there's other times I take it out. I mostly will use that if I know I'm going somewhere that, I'm not going through like any kind of metal detecting or whatnot. Usually I bring it like if we're doing something outside and I need it. That's not something I carry with me regularly. It's usually only carried with me when I absolutely need it. A lot of times it's actually hanging out in my shop bag. So remember how I said like I was like a bag lady? I mean, it's true. I hoard bags. I have a problem. I think I need an intervention. I mean, between purses and tote bags, it's just it's bad, y'all. It's bad. But anyways, in the shop bag, I have been known to just keep it in there for a little bit. And again, I just have to be careful because sometimes I do bring my shop bag to other places. And I just have to be careful, when it's in there because making sure that people don't think that it is a weapon. And speaking of my shop bag, since I do carry that with me, during the week and when I'm up at the shop, there's a bunch of different stuff in there too. My tarot deck that I read with, that I do readings with for people, is always in there. A lot of people have asked me, they're like, well, why don't you just keep it, at the shop? Why don't you just keep it where you do your readings? Well, because I offer virtual readings, there's sometimes that I am home and I need to do them. Now, technically, yes, I have that same tarot deck here. It's the Light Seers Tarot, but that's my deck. And I don't like to read other people's cards from my deck. So that's why I like to have it. So that deck goes back and forth in that bag. I do actually have a working in that bag. It's a little mojo bag that is in there that I tend to weekly, but it stays in my shop bag because it is for specific purposes for the shop. Um, and then I have like obviously I have like my shop related stuff, notebooks and things. But one thing I do have is another notebook. You can basically call it like my grimoire for the shop, where I just jot down recipes while I'm there and things that I've made up, things that people have ordered, like custom, that I write down so I make sure that I have everything. But I have that. So that gets carried along with me every time I go to the shop. And also there's like miscellaneous crystals in there too. Sometimes you can find like some herbs in there in a bag that I've tossed in there that I've needed for something, like that I maybe wanted to bring home when we're burning the intentions off of the altar. But there's just there's just a bunch of different things that can get tossed in there. But like I said, that bag isn't carried with me all the time right now, because remember, like I said, I have a problem with bags, so I switch them out regularly. Right now, I am actually carrying around, and this was actually like the first purse that kind of started my obsession with purses and such, but it is back from, gosh, it is back from before I even got married. So we're talking like 98. Yeah, that's old. And where I worked, my old boss used to buy Coach. Like he bought Coach, like everything, bags, wallets, just everything, accessories. And he used to get the Coach catalog in when, catalogs were a thing. Um, and he used to get it to the office. So I would always get his mail and bring it into him. And I would always joke that, I was going to start picking stuff out. Well, one year for Christmas, he actually bought me a red leather Coach bag because he knew red was one of my favorite colors, and he bought me this little tote, and I still have it. It is in great condition. It's literally considered vintage now. But that's what I'm carrying around right now. And in it, like I said, I have some crystals, I have my notebook and my pen, I have my Florida water. I also have pieces of paper in there that I've written some spell work on. So it kind of varies. It kind of varies from day to day. There's been times where everything in my bag has been practice related. I've had bags of herbs in there. I've had oil in there. I've had my whole casting bag in there. I've had bones in my bag. So there's a lot. Like I said, it varies from day to day, week to week. Kind of depends on what I'm doing, but I just will toss some things in there. And sometimes it's really weird. Sometimes it's like the most randomest shit that I put in there. Um, and I sometimes I forget that I even put it in there, and then I remember and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go do this with it, or I want to go do this. Like I swear to God, I carried around like this the remnants of a spell that I needed to dispose of in my bag for probably a couple of weeks, just because one, I kept forgetting about it. Um, but two, I was just trying to find the right place and the right time to dispose of it. So yeah, so just random stuff, just weird. And I've always liked to find out what other people carry around in their bags, even just non like practice, non witchy stuff. You know how like in like some magazines or even like on social media, you'll people will be like, what's in my bag? And usually it's like celebrities or something that are sharing what they carry around in their purse and everything. I think one I saw not too long ago, probably like a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was an article because I was getting ready to go to the Stevie Nicks concert, the Queen herself. And it was actually an article, like an old article from a magazine that she did a what's in my bag kind of thing. So I was looking at that picture like really, really looking at it and going, ooh, she has this and ooh, she has that because it's Stevie Nicks, my hero. Anyways, so yeah, I've always liked that. I've always liked having like getting glimpses. It's like getting a glimpse into somebody's way of thinking and kind of getting a little glimpse into their life. Um, just by like, what they carry around. Same thing, like, like what people carry around in their pockets, what people carry around in their, in the center console of their car. It means something to you when you carry it around and you have to have it with you and whatnot. And I've always found that fascinating. So why not include some of our practice items, some of our witchy items that we can incorporate throughout our day that you never know when you're going to need something. There have been times that I have been out that I'm like, shit, I wish I would have had dot, dot, dot. I could have used it, while we were here. And so it's like, I think that's also why I'm an overpacker when I go away because I'm always afraid I'm going to need something. And, there's that. So, anyways, so yeah, so I want to what you guys carry in your bags. If you're part of our Awaken the Witch community in Facebook, share what you carry in your bag. If you want to just share in, the comment section on our socials, for the podcast, share. I would love to hear what you carry around with you in your bag. It's what I love it. And I think I kind of wanted to talk about this today. One, just because I wanted something just really low key and relaxed to talk about. But people come into the shop all the time, and you can legit ask anybody. I am always commenting on people's bags because again, I have a problem. So I'm always like, oh my God, I love your bag. And then when people come up to check out, they're pulling stuff out and they're like, oh, I have this and I carry around this with me all the time. And I have this bag of crystals and oh, this is my tarot deck and this is my grimoire, or my book of shadows, or, I found this rock, downstairs. And it's that stuff. And then like conversations just happen from it. So it just opens up just a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know, call me weird, whatever. I don't care. But that's what I like. So anyways, but I want to hear what you guys do. I want to, like I said, I want you guys to share what you have in your bags and let's see. I want to see get that little glimpse into things. So let's talk about the card of the week, shall we? So this week's card of the week is the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Coins. And this is a card of, you know, stability and attaining the things that you've set your mind to. It is very much a card of of security and like of foundations that you build. 'Cause remember, like the Pentacles suit is very much it's that earth energy. It's that very grounding, that very sense of safety, that sense of community, that sense of, you know, I've I've achieved this. And the 10 of Pentacles is very much that card, kind of like a way of going, okay, I'm here, I've done this, and look what my planning and my ways of doing things, look where it has brought me, look at the success that it has brought. And but it's also reminding you that, you know, one, you should be very happy for what you have accomplished and what you have put into it. But you also want to remember that there's always room for growth. There's always room to do some other things. There's always room to add more and contribute and act. So you want to make sure that you're using your skills to continue to keep moving forward. Just because you know you've succeeded, you've had your success, you've laid those foundations doesn't mean that you're going to stop. You can keep going. Now, granted, you can be like, okay, no good, I'm done. But the goal is to keep going and keep bringing those things to you, keep building upon that foundation. So there you have it. So anyways, yeah. So we're going to start bringing in some, some different things, coming up with some different shows. I am working on a calendar right now to get some more guests in to talk with in regards to some certain topics in that. And of course, we're going to be having some more of our Tarot 101 coming, with more explanations of the majors coming up. So yeah, so I've got a little bit of a plan here. It's summertime, kind of a little laid back. There's going to be some times where we might not have a show one week just because we're off, but hey, that's what this time is about. It is about enjoying, your space and doing things that are for your highest and greatest. And hey, if you want to take a break, take a break. You deserve it. So, anyways, so yeah, so make sure that you are following along on our socials. And also, if you want a pretty cool community to join that is very safe and is there to ask questions and share your journey, or even just share a bunch of pretty funny memes, make sure you're a part of our Awaken the Witch community. We would love to have you. So, anyways. So this has been a production of The Still Room, music by Breakmaster Cylinder. And yeah, give us a check out everywhere that you get your podcast. Leave us a review. We would love that 5-star review to get us out there. All right. All right. So until next time, witches, take care. Blessed be.